If you know these things I'm about to talk about, you are ready to be a software engineer. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to AdoraHack. If you know these things I'm about to talk about, you are ready to be a software engineer. These are things that you can use to start your career in software engineering, to start your career in programming, coding in 2021. If I'm being very honest with you, if I'm being very frank, you don't need to know a lot of things. It is okay to know just a few things and you will be good. I'm going to go into 6 things that you should know, or 6 things that you can do before you start coding. And as you know these 6 things, you are good to start your software engineering career, applying for internships, applying for jobs and the likes. And if this is something that you're interested in, I would advise that you stick around to watching this video. The first thing that you need to start your coding journey, to become a software engineer, something that is very important for you to know, is the fundamentals of programming. I can't stress this enough. You can't not understand programming, or you don't understand JavaScript, you now move into React and Vue.js. You are a joke and you will be treated like a joker. Do you understand? You're a clown, like your nose is actually red. You should start from the very beginning. You know, it's important to take these data structures and algorithm lessons. It helps you understand programming. It gives you fundamental knowledge, understanding how computers work. There are a lot of fundamental courses that I've seen online that helps. One of my favorite courses is the Harvard CS course. Another favorite one that I have, Udacity has one as well. Or you can pretty much just go to YouTube. There are a bunch of places like Free Code Camp, for example, different YouTube channels that actually have these courses, or rather these things in playlists, and you can go through them. However, the reason why I would not advise people to use YouTube is because a bunch of things could be scattered and you'd have to find a way to structure your own learning by yourself. But if you take any of all these courses, or you buy any of all these fundamentals books or computer science getting started books, it is already structured for you, so you can follow out the structure that the author has laid out. The next thing that is important is source control. You need to learn Git. Is because whatever code you are writing as a programmer, as a coder, as a software engineer, you are going to be checking in this code into source control. You are going to be Git pulling, Git pushing, Git merging, Git rebasing. And if you do not understand these things, or you will fumble and it will be like film trick, because it's going to mess you up real time. So for you to become a programmer, become a coder, you need to learn how to use Git. There's so many courses online that you can use to learn Git, and I'll leave a few for you so that you can. And like I said earlier on, there's so many blogs on Git. I even have some content on my Instagram that talks about Git and addresses what Git is and the most common, Git commands that you would use. I also know some courses that you can check out on Git, and these courses help you get familiar. YouTube is also a place that has different videos on Git. These things help you get familiar with understanding Git, using Git, so that you can actually write code and check that code that you write into source control. One way that you are sure that you can at least do the basic things is by having your own GitHub, or having your GitHub is the one I would obviously highly recommend, but there are other software that use Git that you can keep your repo on. I would recommend GitHub. So one way for you to know that you actually understand at least some level of Git that is required for any software engineering job is for you to have your own project. When you have your own project, you find out that you are branching off to add a feature, and then you are merging back into master. You are pulling that repo, you are committing code, you are adding code, you are rebasing code, you are doing these little things that would at least help you know that, okay, I'm at this point where I kind of understand this Git thing, and then it makes sense, and then you can decide, okay, you know what, I know Git and I'm going to check that off my list. The next thing is a programming language. Depending on the platform that you want to build for, depending on the kind of software engineering or software development or programming or coding job that you want to get, you should at least know a programming language for that domain. If you are thinking about building mobile applications, and I want to learn that so that you can use Flutter, you might want to learn JavaScript, you might want to learn Kotlin, you might want to learn C#, you might want to learn programming languages that help you build mobile applications. If you're thinking about being a front-end developer, the first thing you should pick up is HTML and CSS. And then you graduate into learning JavaScript, and then before you can think about, oh, I like Ember.js, I like React, I like Vue.js. And once you've learned the basics of React, Vue, all these things, you can now decide, okay, Next is cool, Nox is cool, this other one is cool, GraphQL is great. But it is a step-by-step process, and it's very important that you follow these steps so that you don't confuse yourself in front, if that makes any sense. If you're thinking about doing other things, like, okay, you're not building for web or for mobile, you want to build for the cloud, you want to do other different things, you want to do AR, VR, you want to do any other thing that exists, you can now pick up other different programming languages. You can check, okay, what programming languages work in this scenario, in this area that I want to come to. And based on that knowledge, you can now be like, okay, cool, I'm going to learn this programming language. At least one is enough. Once you've learned one programming language that you know is in demand and people are hiring for, you're good to go. Don't stress yourself about it too much, okay? There's no need for all these people that have like there's no need. One is enough. Learn one, and there's always room to learn more, but you don't have to learn like 5 or 10 or 700 programming languages before you're eligible to have a job as a software engineer. In my job today, I write other programming languages, but the one I write the most is C#, right? Other ones that I write, I could have learned them on the job. I could learn them, on the way. Like, I literally went from C# to TypeScript to C++. But for like almost a full year, I was writing only C# before I picked up TypeScript, which I now write alongside C# because I use TypeScript for a lot of things that I do. And then I write C++ once in a while. But I went in with, I knew other programming languages great, but when I joined where I currently work, all the things that I knew great, a bunch of those programming languages I don't even write anymore. The only one that I still write is C#, and I wrote that for a long time before I picked up TypeScript and C++. I'm saying this because I'm trying to hammer on the fact that you don't need 7,100,000 programming languages before you get your first job. If you can possibly take minimum steps to get to your goal, take those steps. Don't give yourself headache. I guess that's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. Another thing that's important for you to learn is how to use the internet. I can't stress this enough. As a programmer, as a software engineer, you are going to need to learn how to Google stuff. You are going to need to learn how to do your research. A bunch of things, a bunch of solutions to problems that you would possibly have would be on the internet, because there's a chance that other people have had these problems before and have written about it, or there's a GitHub issue about it, or there's a Stack Overflow question and there are multiple Stack Overflow answers about it and different things. So knowing how to use the internet very well, how to do a proper Google search, how to just navigate your way around the internet and search for stuff is going to help you so much as a programmer. Learning that, because it's a very important skill that not a lot of people have. Learning that skill, and also learning how to ask questions if there's a chance that the help you need does not exist on the internet. Asking questions on Stack Overflow the right way. Like narrating your questions in a way that it makes sense. Asking those questions on Stack Overflow, opening a GitHub issue, going on social media like Twitter, for example, and asking that question and throwing it open to tech Twitter for anyone to answer you. Learning how to do these things is a very vital skill to have as well. It's more important than learning 700 programming languages. You learn some things along the way and you make your knowledge make sense and clearer. So the next thing that you should have is collaboration skills. As a software developer and software engineer, except you are building personal projects for yourself, or except you are just, whatever it is that you're doing, you are going to be working in a team. with people. Even if you are the only engineer on the team, you're not the only person in the company. There are people going to be around you, there are people you will work with, there's someone you will report to. You need to learn people skills, you need to learn collaboration skills, you need to learn how to be an inclusive human being. You need to learn these skills, they're very important. Having soft skills, they are not talked about enough, right? And I have a video that addresses soft skills for software engineers. Wow, I'm on fire today, Sha. I have a video that addresses soft skills for software engineers. I'm going to leave this video somewhere so that you can go check it out and go watch it, and hopefully it helps you understand what I'm trying to say more. The final thing that I want to say is being teachable. Teachability is something that is very, 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 very important. I'm saying this and I can't stress this enough. Being a teachable person means that you can learn more. You can learn more things, you can learn more languages, you can make a mistake and you can learn from that mistake. You can grow, basically. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you subscribe. The subscribe button is here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your other friends. Thank you so much again for watching this video to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.